we're live here. Hi, thank you guys so much for joining me today. Selena, Bernard, hola madre, que rico verlos. Thank you all so much for joining me. I appreciate the support, and most importantly, I'm here to share with you guys and unload because it's what helps me as well, right? It's what fills my tank. So today's topic was born last week. As I shared with some of you guys last week, I did not want to talk about 3 ways to take action even when you're not ready. What I really wanted to talk about is what's going on in the world and how much it can trigger you when you yourself are a SA survivor, right? We are living in really, really difficult times, and this has been a triggering week for a lot of us, whether you're an SA survivor or not. If you're a mom, if you're a human, I'm pretty sure that this week has been a rough week. And it doesn't look like it's gonna get easier anytime soon, so I wanted to share ways in which we can protect our sanity and our heart during triggering times. So that's what I made my topic today. Today is 3 practical ways to protect your heart and your sanity. I hope that you guys stick around because I have it all mapped out, and it helped me so very much to dial in for my own healing, right? As I was learning about them, as I was preparing this, I was putting this into work, and I'm grateful to have you guys because you guys give me a reason, give me an excuse to essentially prepare for this every week, and then I'm able to then put it into practice and apply it myself. So 3 ways to protect your heart and your soul and your sanity during triggering times. I need to speak to those of you, to the women and the men who feel heavier than usual right now. Those of you that are walking around with slightly slumped shoulders, doom scrolling and feeling sick to your stomach afterwards. Those of you that are feeling angry but don't fully understand why. Those of you that feel disconnected, distracted, or simply emotionally flat, right? The world right now feels really loud, and the headlines for some of us feel personal. There is something in your body that feels activated. If that is you, this live is for you. Stick around because I want us to heal together. I've been feeling it too. Today I want to give you 3 practical ways to protect your heart and mind during these triggering times. So if you're taking notes, I know that some of you guys watch this afterwards, my YouTube family that's up there. The 3 ways is going to be A, regulate before you react. I have notes because I am very scatterminded. Anchor your mind in reality and restore your agency, right? Your ownership. We're gonna walk through each one of them. First, I need to introduce myself. For those of you that are new here, my name is Karina. Hola mi Gladys preciosa. Hola Marco, gracias por acompañarme. I don't have another screen today. I don't have a TikTok screen to look at. So that's gonna be easier for us. I decided to close out my TikTok. So my name is Karina. I am a coach. I am a business owner. I am a mom of 3. Hola, mi Vero Preciosa. I am a leader, and I am also an SA survivor. So I'm here to share my story with you guys in ways that could hopefully help you. I've spent years in therapy, learning how trauma lives in the body, how our nervous system works, and how to regulate when old wounds get activated, right? The gym does this for me. That's why I own a woman exclusive gym. So today I'm not speaking as a professional therapist. I'm essentially speaking as a woman that has done the work and that is still doing a lot of the work. I think I've done more therapy in the past 8 months than I've done my entire life. So that's my disclaimer to start with. I think this is a good moment to, let you guys know that everything I'm sharing tonight comes from my personal experience. I am not a licensed therapist. I'm not a psychologist. It's everything I've learned through years of nervous system regulation, education, and therapy. It's not medical advice. It's lived experience. Take whatever resonates with you guys. Leave whatever doesn't. And seek professional help if you need deeper support, because Everybody should be in therapy. Trust me when I tell you. It's no longer the taboo thing that people do in the DL. Let's get into this. So pillar number 1, regulate before you react. So in order to proactively keep your sanity in your heart, the first thing that I would recommend that you do is that you regulate yourself. Let me say it in a clear way. If your nervous system is activated, nothing else is going to work, right? When we're heightened, we lose it. We put up the wall. We are behind this glaze of anger, pain, whatever it is. And then there's nothing that can help us get out of there. So working on stepping out of this is what's going to help you win. Inside of our brain, there's a small structure called the amygdala. And the amygdala is essentially our alarm system. Literally think of it as an alarm system. The job of the amygdala is to detect threat. Now, here's what the problem is. It doesn't distinguish, it doesn't know between current danger, real danger, and remembered danger, danger from the past. Hola, primis. Hola, mi Kelly Preciosa. So when we see headlines about abuse, when we see headlines about secrecy or children being vulnerable or injustice, your amygdala can activate as if something is happening right now, like if it's real, right? It doesn't know. And I use this in a different way at the gym, right? I tell my clients, if you can overthink yourself into the worst case scenario, you can overthink yourself into the best case scenario. That's your amygdala. If you can start celebrating, even though we have 10 minutes left of class, start celebrating that you finished class and that you kicked ass and that it was an amazing workout, your brain is going to believe it 100%. So is your body. That is your amygdala, right? So unfortunately, it also works in negative ways too, right? When you overthink something and you create the worst case scenario and you get upset or you get sad, it's that shift, it's that same shift, right? When your heart rate is elevated, your shoulders are slumping, your jaw is tight, you feel heavy, you feel angry, you feel hurt. That reaction is not weakness, it's survival wiring, right? Sometimes when it gets overwhelming, the brain does something protective called dissociation, right? And tell me if this has happened to you guys in the chat. Dissociation is when you partially disconnect from the present moment to lower the intensity of things, right? You might feel like things are a little blurry, or you're zoning out, or you're feeling numb. You're just going through the emotions, not being fully present. Tell me if this has happened to you guys in the chat, or leave me a message if you're watching this afterwards. If you felt that lately, you're not broken. It's your system protecting you, right? I've done drives, and I noticed this, again, because I've done some of the work and I'm aware of it, but I've noticed this during drives, right? Like, you don't even realize, like, you cannot ask me what I saw on the way. It was literally like I got to point A to point B, and I was like, wow, like I was not even there. So how do we fight this? How do we help this? We regulate. One of the most important tools in our body for regulation is the vagus nerve. And this is a nerve that connects your brain to your heart, to your lungs, to your gut. When it's functioning well, you feel calm, you feel safe, you feel grounded, you feel like you can pour into others. However, when we're dysregulated, we feel anxious, we feel shut down, we are short-tempered. The powerful part about this is that we can intentionally stimulate ourselves to regulate ourselves so that we can come back to the things that we can actually control. What have I been doing this week? I've been shorter with people or situations that I know are not going to bring me peace, right? If I am at a place where I know this person is not bringing me peace, on a conversation where I know that person is not bringing me peace, in a situation that I know I'm getting triggered, I'm going to end it rather quickly, unfortunately. I'm choosing me over that situation. Putting my phone away physically, like literally putting it down and allowing myself to be more present and to be more connected to the things that are around me. Limiting the news intake, because the news can be killers. Does that mean that we should ignore the news? Absolutely not. We should know what's going on and we should take action on things, but we need to limit it. Otherwise, it's going to drive us crazy, right? I've replaced a lot of that with playing with my kids. This week, I've played with my kids more than I've played with my kids in months. And the reason I'm doing this is because I realized that is one of the ways that my body feels like it's in charge of what's happening, is in charge of this horrible situation that we're in, right? To a degree, last week when I was reading news, I almost felt guilty bringing more kids into the world, into this wicked, horrible, fucked up world. And essentially knowing that I'm not going to be here for them forever to protect them and take care of them the way that I want them to be taken care of, it's disheartening, right? So what I'm doing is I'm integrating more time with them, enjoying them more, replacing a lot of the things that are going to trigger me into spending time with them, playing with them, because I have control of that and it fills my tank and it fills my heart, right? My body cannot handle the constant activation right now because it's resurfacing things that happened to me when I was little, right? So that is my way of taking charge again. I'm reminding myself, hey, little Karina, you are now older Karina and you are in charge and you're doing so well that you're even making sure that 3 little beings under your watch are okay, right? I need a minute. When you catch yourself in situations that you are feeling heightened, like me right now, observe it, pause it, and then remind yourself that you're okay, right? Roll your shoulders back, put your hand in your chest, take deep breaths, put both of your feet on the ground, remind your current self that you are safe in this moment, and that essentially tells your central nervous system to stand down, that it is all good, that you are okay. Regulation is power. Before we react, before we argue, before we spiral. You have no idea how many times this week I've been so close to having difficult conversations with people that I love. Like, do you still support our president? Where do you stand when it comes to ICE? Where do you stand when it comes to the Epstein files? And I've had some of those conversations because it's important for me to know where my circle stands. Hola, Nano. Hi, Nika. But then there are times in which I literally have to just take a deep breath, regulate, because it's not worth it at the moment. It is important to have those conversations, but not every time that you want to call them out. I stopped myself from having it today when I went to visit one of my lovely businesses that I support. So let me ask you guys something. What does regulation look like for you right now? What do you guys do to regulate yourselves? Because there's a lot of different methods, right? There's a lot of grounding techniques. There's a lot of ways that we can help ourselves regulate ourselves. If you guys are in my live, please share it with me. Otherwise, if you're in my YouTube family or you're watching this later, please share it with me in the comments. What does regulation look like for you right now? You might be watching me talk about this. Why not? Let's move on to pillar number 2. So the 3 practical ways to protect your heart and protect your sanity. Pillar 1 was regulate before you react. Pillar number 2 is going to be anchor your mind. Anchor your mind in reality, right? Now that we have calmed the body, we're going to work with the mind. When we're triggered, the brain starts scanning for more danger, right? It's a safety mechanism. That's why you might notice that you're more hypervigilant, you're more sensitive, you notice irritability, anger that feels bigger at the moment with other people, with yourself, with the world. I'm going to say something very vulnerable, and is that I've noticed a lot of anger towards men lately. I am mad at men. And now I've been in this situation before for other reasons, right? Where I like just hate all men. I hate them all. But lately I'm saying it in a real way. I'm not even like laughing about it. I am feeling angry, and that's uncomfortable to admit, right? Like to generalize. It almost feels ignorant on my end. But through therapy, I've learned that sometimes that anger is like protective rage, right? It's not necessarily about hating men, but it's my my central nervous system remembering vulnerability, right? It's the part of me that says, why didn't someone, protect little me? Why aren't more people like outraged and upset and doing more things? Why aren't we doing more things? Tell me if you have been feeling like this lately. And that anger makes sense. I have to give it space, right? Here's where we anchor that thought. There is a practice called name it to tame it, right? It's something that I learned with therapy, and it's something that I've worked on and I've shared with the woman inside of my 45-day journeys. Name it to tame it is a practice in which we label the emotion so we can calm the mind, your amygdala that I told you about before. Instead of I'm spiraling and finding more danger, finding more reasons to be angry, to be sad, to be upset, you name how you're feeling and you essentially give it a title, nice and loud. I am feeling grief. I am feeling anger. I am feeling helpless. Because when you observe it, when you name the emotion, when you call it out, you bring the logical part of your brain back online, right? And you're no longer in that hypervigilant state, just finding more things that are going to make you more upset, but you're rather like anchoring yourself, like, okay, Karina, what are you feeling right now? I'm feeling angry. I'm feeling helpless. And to the men that are watching, Nano, if a woman in your life feels activated right now, don't get defensive, please. Don't fix it. Don't minimize it. Hold her, listen, and be aware. Any woman in your life, whether she's a sexual abuse survivor, whether she's a mom, whether she's just a woman, right? She feels this a little bit deeper, right? Ladies, you're not crazy, you're not dramatic, you're not activated. There is a difference. And for the gentlemen that are watching this, please allow us that room. Allow us that room and take action. Educate yourself. Read the things. Do not ignore them. This also belongs to you. This also affects you. Sit with us in these difficult times. Pillar number 3. And I'm going to take another intentional breath and sip of my coffee. In the meantime, give me a little love. Tell me how you guys are doing. Drop me a comment in the chat. Okay. Number 3, pillar number 3, right? Out of the practical ways that I've been using to protect my heart and my sanity lately. Pillar number 3 is restore agency in small ways, right? Take charge again in small ways. This one is probably the most important one. That's why I left it for the end. When trauma gets activated, the deepest wound or the hardest wound is feeling powerless. So what we need to do to combat that is restoring agency, right? Agency means reminding yourself that you have influence, you have a choice, you have control, you have a responsibility, right? Even small control matters. You can control politics, but I can't control whether I consume nonstop information or not, right? So I've given myself a block of time. I allow myself X amount, and then when I get home, I'm literally disconnected, which I try not to be because I'm a business owner. I own 2 businesses and I like to be there. But this week, it's been phone down and put away. I literally live in the sofa as I walk in and my kids run to me. Phone down, F the world. I started something that I call proof of light practice, right? That is I don't call it, that is the actual name. I called it something else for my ladies. But essentially, this proof of light practice is a way for us to redial or bring back that small control, right? That agency that we have the opportunity to exercise in order to make ourselves feel like we're protecting our sanity and our heart. The idea here is that you find things that are going well in the world. And there's actually a page that I follow that does this, which I have to share more of. What I sent to my ladies this week, to the ladies in my private Woman Who Roar chat, is I gave them an activity of creating a note on their phone with the title, Good Things Are Happening to Me Every Day. And I invited them to intentionally write at least one thing down daily. A moment of good, something good that happened to you, or a person, a situation, anything. This proof of light practice, right? A moment of safety, a moment of connection, a moment that proves that light still exists, right? This works because of neuroplasticity, which in lame terms means your brain has the ability to rewire itself, right? And this is based on repetition. When we look for things that are good, we see more good things. When we look for things that are bad, we're gonna see more bad things, right? What you practice noticing becomes stronger. So if we rehearse fear constantly, we're gonna strengthen the fear pathways on our brain. If you rehearse safety and gratitude, we're gonna strengthen those safety and gratitude pathways. So your brain is essentially learning what it practices, right? What am I gonna see more of? So I'm training mine to notice that light in a world that feels so dark and heavy right now. Going back to work, I was at lunch. Love you. Hello, Salva, mi corazón. Thank you for joining me. So today I want to invite you guys to do exactly what I invited my lionesses to do, mi Rix Hermosa. In our lioness private chat, which you guys are all welcome to join, it's free, I invited them to create this note and write one thing every single day. Do it. Restore agency. It's going to be so amazing to be able to read back at this note in a week from now, in a month from now, in a year from now, and see that even though the world felt like it's effing blowing apart, that we're so triggered and the things are resurfacing for a lot of us, that it is okay to remember, but also to create safety as well, right? That is okay to feel super triggered and sad and hurt, but that you're not little anymore and you're aware and you're capable of regulation and you have resources, that you can feel deeply and still lead powerfully, that you can experience anger and hurt and still choose to have intentional action and a powerful positive impact on the people that support you and the people that are in your circle. If this helped you guys, please share it. As usual, please use this space to comment and support each other and hold hands so that we can push through these difficult times. Tag a woman or share this with a woman who might need it. Tag a man who might need it as well. I did not share stats at the beginning, or if I did, I don't remember, because like I told you guys, my brain is fried right now. But the stats are scary and they're very sad. 1 in 3 women have experienced sexual abuse in their life. 1 in 3, guys. That sucks. And 1 in 13, actually I lied, is 1 in 4 and 1 in 13. 1 in 4 women, hi Christine, have experienced sexual abuse. And 1 in 13 men or boys experience it as well before the age of 18. So in a room, out of every 3 women that you count, the 4th one has probably experienced sexual abuse. And in a room, every 13 male before the age of 18. You guys do the math. It is okay and it is totally normal to walk around looking at a group of people and seeing us as women who always carry everything and always handle everything and are always ready to put out for our kids, for our families, for our businesses, for everyone, because it's what we do. It is okay for us to look like we're zombies right now, with our shoulders, with our brain, feeling foggy and feeling disconnected. It is okay. 1 in 4 of us has felt this way. I appreciate you guys being here for me and for my healing. I hope that my experiences create a little bit of healing in your life as well. I thank you guys so much for the support that you guys all gave me in my post last week. I felt like I needed to share this because I felt like I was in a very important and vulnerable space, and vulnerability breeds vulnerability. I received so many public and private messages of thank you for sharing, thank you for being brave, and so many messages of, oh my God, Karina, I knew we had something in common. Me too. Thank you for holding this space for me. We need to talk more about this. And yes, we absolutely do, which is why we're here with this topic today. Will I talk more about this at some point in my life? Most likely. This is as much as I could put out today. So thank you guys for watching. Remember, utilize these practical ways to regain control of how you feel, protect your heart, protect your soul, experience more of the things that bring life to you, walk out in nature, do more grounding techniques, work the fuck out, walk out in the street in nature, and let's continue to pursue this because we need to. We are the hope. We gotta continue to push through. Love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. If you're watching me later, leave me a little comment or send me a DM. Ciao.